I'm Miki from LUSH, and I play the guitar and sing.
And my name is Emma, and I sing and play guitar, only not in that order.
And there's two more, but they're men, so we don't want them here. And they're Chris and Steve.
We play drums and bass respectively.
Respectfully. Well, I think because none of us are particularly brilliant musicians, certainly at the beginning, if someone wrote a song, they'd have to write all the parts to like the song, if I wrote a song, I'd have to write Emma's guitar part and the bass line and everything, because we weren't good enough to just sort of go, oh yes, that's in that key, and then just make something up on the spot. So everything had to be quite laboriously worked out, and we've sort of stuck to that just because it's become habit now, I think. Maybe it will change, but it's really difficult now because we're so sort of used to the idea of writing a song and it is totally your song, and you write every element of it, and it becomes a bit difficult now to have, I don't know, to just offer up a bass line to Steve and let him write it, because you already have a fixed idea of the whole song, Maybe we will do that at some point. Certainly if we have to write, lots of LPs worth of stuff, then maybe it will be too time consuming to have to write it all on your own. But at the moment, I'd say we'd still stick to that way of writing. I can't really see me and Emma sitting down in a room with guitars and having some sort of jam session or whatever and working things out like that. It's just so different to the way that we write songs now.
We actually used to do that. Yeah, me and Miki have known each other since we were 14. We both got into music sort of around the same time and everything, but we couldn't play, and it was just it was in theory, but we couldn't actually play anything or write. It was just a slow process.
I think we just wanted to be in a band together, really. Well, I met Chris and Steve at Polytechnic, doing a degree, and Chris joined first, and then I think Emma was playing bass then, and I was playing guitar. And we had a different singer, and then we all changed what we were playing and stuff. And then Steve joined. He could play a bit of guitar, so I just asked him if he wanted to play bass, and he said yes. That was it, really. Really ropey beginnings.
Well, I think what happened was we did want to start playing gigs as soon as possible. However abysmal we were, we just went out and did it, and we had about, I don't know, 5, 6 songs, and we just played and played and played, and this lineup really was sort of finalised, if you like, around October '88. No. Yeah, October '88. And we sort of just, through playing, sort of just improved our songwriting and our playing. It wasn't like we all got together and we could play and it was like, really good. It was a slow learning process.
Still is.
Yeah, still is. We've still got a lot to learn. think it was just we didn't really know it was happening. We had this big review, and then there was all these A&R people phoning up, and then they came to this gig, and we were really bad, and they never phoned again, But we didn't care. We just went on playing. I mean, I suppose there was a bit of press. There's people started to say, "Oh, they're really bad," but they're getting this good press. But I think what it was, I think the songs were there, but we weren't really that competent in playing them. But I think it was the songs that sort of won through in the end, if you like. We did a demo of 2 songs, Ethereal and Second Sight, and we sent them out and to about 6 companies, independent ones, and we were going to go with another one first to do a single, but Ivo kept phoning just to see what was going on, so he was interested, but I think he'd heard from people that we weren't very good live and whatever, so he was a bit cautious. But in the end he said, well, I'll put you into the studio and you can record 3 songs, and if I like them, see what happens. And so that's what we did. And so we went in the studio and we did Baby Talk, Thought Forms and Scarlet, and he really liked them. So he said, well, why don't you go back in the studio and do 3 more? So we did, and we did Bitter, Second Sight and Ethereal, and that was Scar. So really Scar's like demos, really. At the time we were quite pleased with the way that the demos came out. And looking back, it could be, it could be said we should have gone in and done, maybe 2 singles or whatever. Because there was at least 2 singles could have been off that, off that record, and then maybe we should have done them, put a lot more time into them. But I think they did sort of capture what we were like quite well. I mean, both, even the record with Robin was done quite, well, it was, obviously more time was taken, but it was still done in quite a sort of live way. I think it's still quite raw. In a sense. Well, on Scar we did, you know, quite a lot of vocal overdubs and guitar overdubs and stuff. I suppose in a way the recording process for Mad Love was similar, except the actual sounds were different.
There was more. I think there was more attention paid to like the actual quality of sound.
Yeah.
But like we did on Scar, we didn't spend a lot of time getting a certain guitar sound or anything. It was just either clean or distorted. That was it, really. But well, obviously Robin knows a lot about guitar, so a lot more attention was paid to that side of things. Okay. Well, I think certainly once we did release Scar, it made it a lot better for us live, because it meant we actually, I mean, people had already knew what we sounded like to an extent, having bought the record, so that made life a bit easier. Then we got a tour with, is that the Darling Buds?
Mm.
We got a support tour with the Darling Buds, and which was, it was all right. It was pretty hard work because we only had a really ramshackle van to sort of push around the country, but it was okay. And then we played with Loop. We did a tour with them almost straight afterwards, and then as soon as we finished that, that's when we recorded Deluxe, and then we did our first headline tour the following year, followed immediately by a European tour with the Pale Saints. And obviously things get easier and easier as you go along. I mean, we now have someone to do our sound who we had a lot of really bad problems early on, because either we didn't have anyone doing our sound, or else it was someone who just didn't understand what the band wanted to sound like. So consequently, there'd be like, you know, whatever problems, we'd sound dreadful. And then what after the European stuff?
Then we did a show at ULU in London, and then we did Glastonbury, which was fun.
Educational.
Educational. But yeah, it was a good experience. And then we did a few more shows after that, just in Manchester and Leeds, and then after that we played with The Cure at Crystal Palace, which was good. It's funny actually. We both were in bands before. We both played bass, and both bands did a lot of cover versions in their set. And I think we wanted to get away from that. We never played a lot of cover versions. We've never played more than one in the set. But Hey Hey Helen was the long-standing one, yeah, because it's easy.
Well, I think first of all we kept trying to play what was that song? SOS.
SOS, yeah.
Which is like a more well-known ABBA song, and like we really wanted to play that, but it was just too much effort. It just kept coming out really rubbish. So and then Emma sort of found Hey Hey Helen, which is a bit more obscure, but like a lot easier to play.
And it makes a statement as well.
Yeah, women's rights and stuff like that.
But the ABBA version is actually a lot heavier.
A bit more rocking.
Children call, to say When you think about your life, you but you're wrong. You had to take a separate shot. So you fight your freedom. Hey, hey, hey. Now you live on your own. Hey, hey, hey. Can you make it alone? Hey, hey, hey. What's the matter with you? Hey, hey, hey. Don't you know what to do? Oh, yes you do, yes you do. Oh, yes you do, yes you do. Hey, hey, hey. Now you live on your own. Hey, hey, hey. Can you make it alone? Hey, hey, hey. What's the matter with you? Hey, hey, hey. Don't you know what to do?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's this Manchester thing at the moment where there are a lot of good bands coming out of Manchester, and it has been linked. Well, it is linked with the dance house phenomena which is happening here. Though some of it is a bit tenuous, I think. Like, I think In Spiral Carpets can't really be classed as a dance act. The fact they're from Manchester, I think they're a good band, you know, but some of it I think's blown out of proportion a bit. Though, I mean, we're not against it. I mean, we like all, you know, most of those bands, but we're also, obviously, we're not part of it. We're not, you know. My favourite band is the Cocteau Twins.
That's because Robin's standing over her with a hammer at the moment. No, he's not really.
No, I think, yeah, the Cocteau Twins have been a very big influence on us. I mean, we all like a lot of different stuff. This is the thing. We're all into a lot of different types of music, and what one person would listen to, the other wouldn't touch with a barge pole, you know. And I think this is possibly reflected in our music.
I think any comparisons between bands on 4AD, I mean, I think all the bands are so different that I think it is really quite ridiculous to draw such comparisons. But I mean, it is just the image of the label, I think, because Vaughan Oliver designs whatever type of sleeves, every band is considered to be a bit highbrow and arty. I mean, even a band like the Pixies, which are, to me, like a really good but very basic rock and roll band. And like, there's still, even in certain interviews, there's still this accent on some sort of arty type angle. I don't know, which wouldn't happen if they were on any other, if they were on Sub Pop or something, it wouldn't happen. But I don't, you know. Yeah, well, I suppose we get compared to the Cocteau Twins, but that's because Robin produced it. Yeah. We really didn't know anything about Tim Freescreen, and it was just suggested to us that we work with him, and then a lot of people seemed to think that was a really good idea. So we then went about, trying to get in contact with him, and as it turned out, conveniently enough, he'd heard of the band and was interested in them, and he was going to come and see us anyway when we played in Cambridge. So we met him very briefly then, and then no, we didn't actually. Howard met him briefly then. Well, he came and see us, and anyway, he was into it, so we sort of arranged to meet him, and at first there was a couple of other people we were sort of thinking of working with, but he did seem to be the most enthusiastic and the most, not looking on us as just another job, but as a specific band that he was interested in. So we felt that was quite important, so we decided to work with him, but really didn't know that much about his stuff at all. We had to sort of run out and buy Talk LPs and find out exactly what we were letting ourselves in for. But he's a fun guy.
Yeah, I think it was his attitude more than anything that impressed us. Well, it was approached a lot differently, I think, than the previous records. We took a lot longer recording and mixing it. I think Tim, he changed quite a bit of the song. He changed the drums and he added bits and he took bits away.
Yeah. Well, my mum lives in Hollywood, so I've been going there regularly for about the last 10 years or so. But that's the only bit of America I've been to really, is Los Angeles, you know. So I don't know how representative that is. Gee, we can't wait to get across that water. Well, when are we going? November. Yeah. Go to we'll be coming to America.
Town near pretty.
Coming in America. I'm sorry. We'll be coming to America and just I don't even know how many dates it is, but just to promote GALA really. And then I suppose, are we meant to go back again?
Yeah, possibly go back in March. I used to make sandwiches quite a lot, and I used to work in the social security office. Dog's body work, filing, but the sandwich job was good.
Riveting stuff. I handed out leaflets outside Selfridges for a day. That was it.
Hello.